What's up, guys? It's a puppy here, and I got something different for you again. That's right, we got some Medal of Honor Warfighter beta footage. I literally just got done. I played 2 matches and hopped off, decided to give you guys my first impressions and kind of go over what I was going through right here. I'm kind of going through the start menu where you get to select your nationality. This is straight in. As soon as you hit start, you select your save device, and after everything's set up there, you set up your screen, and then this is what you're seeing. From that point on, you'll actually see me try to join a game. You get to see how long that takes, things like that. So far, the question that everyone's asking, is it worth it? Is it good? Well, having just played it, like I said, I didn't think it was too bad. Ultimately, do I think this is going to be a Game of the Year title? Honestly, no. No, I don't see it being a Game of the Year title. I see it being more of a interim play this game while you wait patiently for a better game to come along sort of deal. Personally, I can foresee this game being enough reason not to maybe play Black Ops as much, the new Black Ops 2 that's going to be coming out. Just because obviously this game would entertain me longer than a month or 2 months or whatever the time frame may be. And here we are, the game. This is actually the loading screen for the game, which is actually pretty nifty looking. It's not too ugly or anything like that. Like I said, this game, if you're wanting to know how it handles, that's something that a lot of people were concerned about. If you guys have played Battlefield, if you're here from Battlefield, the movements are a little bit like Battlefield. Like as far as walking around goes, as far as jumping goes, and vaulting over objects, things like that, it feels very much like Battlefield. It's a little bit more fluid. Simply for the fact that I noticed that there was this is me just trying to test out the sensitivity. Originally here, you'll see me change it later. But originally here, the sensitivity, the default sensitivity is very low, and I was struggling with it. I suppose it's alright when you're first getting used to a game, but it's just that sensitivity that low, I had no idea. And this is my first time on the map, so if I'm wandering around looking very clueless, that is because I have no idea what's happening. I don't even know what kind of game mode this is, at start. I was just like, what are we supposed to do here? I see this objective-y thing, what's this going on? And then all of a sudden that disappears. I have no idea what's going on. I can tell you guys at this point that it's kind of like a multi-stage search and destroy, where these objectives that you see highlighted are, as an attacker, you're supposed to go and place a bomb on them, and then defend the bomb once it's armed, and the other team's supposed to keep you from either planting it, or if you do get it armed, they're supposed to defuse it. And yes, my first few moments in the game, I tried to shoot a guy and unfortunately ended up landing a crud ton of shots on a teammate. Thank you for standing in my way there, buddy. But again, back to going to the movements and things, it's felt very fluid compared to Battlefield. Sometimes in Battlefield 3, you try to vault over something and you end up just getting, very much hung there. And that's not really the case. Now, I did find a few static objects around on the ground where I was like, what am I stuck on? Like that right there. I don't know if you saw me kind of bump into something a little bit when there was nothing really visible in my way. There was like a little rock on the ground, but it was like 1 foot tall, and it's like, seriously, I can't handle that. I can't jump over that. And this is me dying again for the second time. So, I wasn't off to the best start. I really had no idea what I was doing. This guy got up behind us, I guess. And, besides that, movement-wise, obviously, a lot of people are like, it's not the same game as Call of Duty, it's not the same game as Battlefield, don't compare it to that. So, I have something to say to you first off. I am going to compare it to that, not because I want this game to be compared to that in the sense of, is it as good as these games? But if I compare it to these games, you have kind of a reference point as to what exactly it is that I'm talking about. It's easier to understand it that way. I talk about movement in Battlefield 3. If you play Battlefield 3, you know what I'm talking about. Gunplay-wise, I find that the time to kill, things like that, are very COD-like. They're very Call of Duty-like. I would put them on par with maybe just a touch faster than Black Ops as far as your time to kills go. Of course, I am using a silenced gun right now, which is the first gun you get by default. I saw on Twitter that they said they were going to have all the assault guns unlocked from the get-go or something to that effect, and that is actually not the case. There was nothing unlocked for me, just the stock, this gun, and these are the attachments that came on it. For those of you that are going to be playing the beta, quick tip for you guys that I discovered via in-game chat, you'll see me try it out here in a few times, is prior to unlocking the grenade launcher, which is like your first unlock for the Assaulter class, prior to unlocking it, if you aim down sight and then you also hit the left bumper for Xbox, obviously it's on Xbox, the demo or the beta is on Xbox, but if you hold down the left bumper as well, and then you can use your strafe stick. I know this sounds real complicated. You're holding down, aim down sight, you're holding down your left bumper, and you use your strafe stick. You kind of peek around corners rather than exposing your whole body, which I had a hard time actually using, but I could see how if you practiced it enough, you know, that was the big thing, is I wasn't very practiced in it. Obviously, this being my first game with it, but I can see how if you practice with it enough, it can be very advantageous to you. One of the big things about that, though, is once you unlock the grenade launcher, which I didn't actually know that I equipped. I don't recall equipping it. Maybe I did. Maybe you guys will see, because like I said, this is the first 2 matches. I don't recall equipping the grenade launcher. I see unlocking it, and that's me actually trying to prone. By the way, that's swinging my tomahawk around like a fool. It's once your grenade launcher is equipped, you can no longer do this, because if you hit the left bumper, then it simply pulls out your grenade launcher. The kill streaks that you get, I think I get one here in a little bit. I don't know when I use it, but I get one coming up here, and you just have to hit either left or right on the directional pad to use them. Honestly, I had a hard time reading the text when the stuff pops up on the screen. As some of you guys may know, I don't have the best eyesight in the world, so I'm gonna have to go back and you know, really like rewatch some footage to see exactly what all that said, just so I know, you know, because it looked like you get 2 different options whenever you get a kill streak. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, we'll see. So as you can see here, I'm trying to put in a little bit of work. My Vegas has a little bit of graphical error here. I hope that doesn't show up for you guys when I render it out. But ultimately, you know, again, I was very impressed with this game. If you're looking for another Battlefield replacement, though, this is not the game for you guys. It's while the gameplay was fairly intense, considering, it was very, as far as the gunfights go, it felt very Call of Duty-like. It felt, I'm not going to say entirely Call of Duty-like, just because it feels like maybe in Call of Duty you move just a touch faster, whereas in this one, you know, the movement obviously isn't like inhumanly fast. But the gunfights themselves felt like they were over about as quickly as they would be in Call of Duty. There's this guy coming at me with a tomahawk. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea, but I can't get around cover here, so I end up dropping dead. The spawn system is very interesting. You know, you kind of have your fire mate, your fire team mate, or whatever, and as you can see there, if he's not in a firefight, there will be this little timer where you can spawn on him, but as soon as he starts shooting or getting shot, it reds out and it resets to where you cannot spawn on him. Which is an interesting thing to do. There I go, turning down the sensitivity just a touch, and that's actually ended up being where I liked it for the rest of the game. It was very nice. You can also choose to quote-unquote fall back, which I guess is basically like spawning at your deployment. It's an interesting way to spawn into things. There's a clip coming in here, and I'm not sure if it was a kill streak. It's a little bit later. It's actually when I'm on defense, which will be the 2nd round. It's actually not a round, it's just another game. But I just decided to include both in there so you guys could see both angles. But there's a point in there where somebody spawns, and I go to shoot at them, and they like rappel down from a helicopter, and then the helicopter blows my face off. I'm not sure if that's like some sort of spawn protection, or if that was like some sort of kill streak. As of right now, I have no idea, but it definitely blew my face off. It surprised the hell out of me too. What else is there to say about this game right now? The customization screen, you'll see me mess with that a little bit here. I messed with it again before actually deciding to record this commentary. The customization is expansive. There's a great deal of customization available. You can change things from sights to barrels, your barrel type, as well as you can change the barrel attachment. You'll see a suppressor and a flash suppressor, I think. There's also a recoil compensator that you can attach onto there. As far as barrels go, you know, you have your lightweight, your medium weight, and your quote-unquote regular, I'm sorry, not medium weight, and then you have a heavy barrel. And all of them look like they change the range of the weapon respectively, you know, heavy barrel further away. I'm going to assume that they also modified recoil a little bit, although to be quite honest, I was not paying attention. I was just trying to get through this stuff as quickly as humanly possible for you guys. The other things they have is they have like different magazine types, but the magazine types actually all look like they don't change your stats at all. It looks like it's purely cosmetic. As also, you get camos, you can paint your gun. There's a variety of camos. It's I would say that there's probably more camos for weapons than you have seen in Call of Duty even. I would go that far to say that, because there is an immense amount of camos available for these guns. And it looks to me initially like there is no limitation as to what camo you can put on what weapon either. It looks like you can put it on all the primaries. I did not see an ability to put it on your secondary. That, you know, like I said, that remains to be seen. There's also various stocks. You can change the stock on it. Originally, every gun just gets a default stock. Here you can see, again though, you see me mess around with a tomahawk. I'm going to have to go back and change my button layout. I'm not too happy with the way it is right now. But currently, if you push in on the thumbstick, which is what I'm used to use to crouch and prone in both all of my Call of Duty and my Battlefield games, just because that's what's comfortable for me, that is not what happens. You actually end up swinging your tomahawk around. And then this one, it's the B button. You press it once, you crouch, you hold it down, you prone. Which, again, it's not... You'll see me die several times struggling, flailing my tomahawk around, trying to remember that that's different. Another thing that I was a little bit wary of was, again, after you see me get the grenade launcher in a little bit, you know, I am trying to, like, throw grenades and things of that nature, and I didn't actually realize that this is an enemy chopper, because someone in the chat said that they had a chopper. And I'm trying to arm the bomb. I have no idea what I'm doing, and then I hear it beeping, and I assume it's armed. So I'm like, alright, well, I'm just going to set up shop here and try and defend, and then I realize, oh, that chopper behind me, that was a bad guy chopper. So, mistake, lesson learned. That was a boo-boo on my part, and unfortunately I do not earn a chopper or anything of that sort, and honestly, like, I'm sitting here, this is my kill streak, I pull it out. To be quite honest, I have no idea how you would take something like that out of the sky at this point. You know, maybe shoot at it with your assault rifle? I really don't know at this point. You know, those things, when they were up, they just kind of rained hell down for a few seconds, and then they went away. I didn't actually see anybody shoot them out of the sky or anything of that nature. Coming up here in a second, I believe, or maybe it's potentially later. Yeah, this is a bad idea, by the way. I tried to use that kill streak in poor position. I did not realize that the roof actually had him covered, and I used it on top of the building. So, epic fail there. Didn't get any kills. Of course, I think I get it again later, and I still don't get any kills with the thing. Actually, I think I end up using, like I said, there's like a left and a right on the D-pad, and I think they are different options. And when I hit it the second time, I hit the other direction, and instead of it being like an attack, it looked like it was just a lot of smoke. That ended up happening. Yeah, there's my tomahawk kill. I had to get one for you guys. Spazzed out a little bit on that guy. But ultimately, you guys, this game so far is impressing me. We'll see how the demo goes. I did not run into any bugs. It's just the one map that's available right now, and it looks like you can unlock other classes, but you have to unlock them. You only get the one for the start. And I don't know if it's just because I'm in America or what the deal is, but also at the start of the game, I don't know if you noticed at the start menu, but I'm only allowed to select the United States nationality. I don't know if that's something that... I know they said something about not restricting that eventually, or at least I believe I heard something of that nature in a podcast perhaps. But as it stands right now, you are very much restricted in what you're able to do. You know, as far as that goes, you know, you can only pick US, you can only pick Assaulter, for me anyway. Maybe that'll be different for everybody else. We'll see. Time will tell. But ultimately, you guys, like I said, I'm very impressed with this game. I was very worried that this game would be a dud. I don't know about you guys. I was immensely worried that it would be a dud just because Medal of Honor 2010 was very much a dud. There was a lot of bugs in it. And, you know, maybe give it time. Maybe it will become a dud. Maybe some of these bugs will turn up. Maybe there's some sort of, like, you know, overpowered weapon glitch. For those of you that played Battlefield 20, or... For those of you that have played Battlefield 3, you know, maybe something will turn up like the USAS frags or the M26 Dart glitch when that was around. God, I hope not, but, you know, you never can tell with these games as far as, you know, what's going to happen. You just don't know. So time will tell on that end. You're fixing to see me go to a little bit of work. I get really campy, but I think that's because at this point, you know, I am defending, and I also realize that, actually, I'm not putting in work yet. I missed it, maybe. Yeah, we ended up winning there. I put in work on defense. That's what it was. I'm sorry. I was by the same area when I started putting in work on defense. Ultimately, you guys, I'd say obviously it's a beta, so there's no reason not to check it out and grab your own opinions, you guys. For those of you that do not have an Xbox, ultimate opinion, is it worth it right now? My answer to you is that depends. If you are one of those guys that only buys 1 or 2 games a year, maybe not. You know, maybe you'll get more lifespan out of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. or Halo. Well, I'm not, I almost said Halo 4, but that's an Xbox title as well. You know, although I do think that you might get some more life out of Halo 4 for those of you that are in question. But ultimately, I think if you're one of those guys that maybe gets more games than that in a year, maybe you say you get 4, 5, 6 games a year, then I say, you know, go ahead and check this game out. It's probably pretty worth it. You know, why would it hurt? Obviously, it's a nice first-person shooter. It's nice. It's refreshing to do something different. And ultimately, you know, it's going to be something that it's very different. It's very unique, and there's I've yet to play anything entirely like it. I know you guys are like, but Puppy, you compared it to Call of Duty, you compared it to Battlefield. Again, that was just for reference so that you guys knew exactly what it was I was talking about, so that you kind of had an idea of what exactly I'm saying. Ultimately, though, it's a very different game. It feels very different. It plays very different than anything else I've ever played. And, you know, I'd say give it a shot, you guys. And again, if you are on PC, if you are on PS3, I am really sorry, you guys. Please don't blame me. I'm not the one who called the Xbox only beta. I have heard through the grapevine that the initial reason why it's only on Xbox is actually because there are some issues with it being on Xbox. This is me going through the menu a little bit, by the way. I just breezed through it here in this section. But I do not call the rules on this stuff, you know, as far as the beta goes. I heard there were some problems with it being integrated on the Xbox, where there's some server issues or something to that effect, which is why they wanted to test it on Xbox. I believe, honestly, if they didn't have these server issues, we probably wouldn't see a beta even now, if they hadn't had these server issues or whatever the issues may be. So, rest assured, you guys over on PlayStation and you guys over on PC, I do think that it's you know, nothing intended to harm you. I understand it's probably a little aggravating. This is me trying to peek and discovering that I no longer can, by the way. I understand it's a little bit aggravating for you guys, but ultimately, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I don't make the rules. I just happen to get lucky on this one. Happen to have an Xbox, and they just happen to put it up on Xbox, the beta up on Xbox. So, very much lucked out there. Will I be playing this game personally in the coming year? Honestly, yes, I do think so. If I do transition over to Black Ops at all, I don't think I'll ditch this game entirely. I do believe I'll be playing it. The only thing that I may do in regards to Black Ops is play Zombies, just because a lot of you guys know that I am a huge fan of the original Black Ops Zombies and the World at War Zombies even. It's a lot of fun. I know some people hate it just because it's mindless killing, but that's part of why I like it. It's just mindless killing. It's absolutely great fun. When you just want to waste some time, you don't want to get stressed, you know, because everybody needs a game where that doesn't stress you out. You know, obviously, those of you that are here from COD, that game can stress you out. Don't lie to me. And those of you here from Battlefield, that game can stress you out. You know, don't lie to me. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Let's talk about the maps. This one map is the only map we got to try out so far. Honestly, the map is fairly big. It's definitely by no means Battlefield size. It's probably a little bit larger than most Call of Duty maps, but by no means is it like noticeably larger. It feels like the, or at least in this game type, the engagements happen in a very tight Call of Duty sized area, in which, you know, everyone's pretty focused in one general area, and there's a few flanks here and there, but ultimately people aren't too spread out. But, you know, it doesn't take me long to run from one end of the map to the other. Again, this is me trying to throw a nade, forgetting my buttons and which button's which. And I'm like, well, let's just screw it. Let's go ahead and lob a 320 that way. Or, you know, whatever they happen to be calling it in this game. I remember in previous games, that was actually called the China Lake, Battlefield Vietnam, if any of you guys ever played that one. Actually, I think they had that in Call of Duty as well. I could be mistaken. Both in Black Ops and... No, definitely in Black Ops now that I think about it. And maybe in Modern Warfare 2? I don't remember. It's been so long since I actually played Modern Warfare 2. I know definitely in Black Ops, though. The reload times on this, obviously, as you just saw, aren't too bad. It's definitely... Again, it's not Call of Duty. That's just because you get the superhuman, arcadey, you know... what is it? Sleight of hand that just makes you reload like some sort of god. This is me trying to prone and failing and it getting me killed. But it's also, you know, it's very... I guess you could say it's kind of Battlefield-esque. I feel like it's, for those of you that play Battlefield, it feels like maybe reloading the M416, where it's not incredibly fast, but at the same time, it's not so slow to where you're like, oh god, oh god, oh god, what am I going to do? Obviously, it's more beneficial to swap over to your pistol, but at the same time, you know, it's it's interesting just to know, you know, roundabouts, how guns reload, things like that. One of the things I could not get used to though was just the different buttons for grenade, the knife, the prone. Those really mess me up. I'm going to hope that there's something to change that in the button layout. Really pray on that one. You guys pray with me, and hopefully we'll get lucky there. Ultimately, though, I think I've ranted on long enough. I don't really have much else to say about this game. Again, you know, just if you want me to repeat it, I will for you guys one more time. If you buy 5 to 6 games, or, you know, let's put it this way, 4 to 6, 4+ games in a year, this game is probably definitely worth picking up. If you buy less than that, though, I'm definitely going to say this is a skip. Is it going to replace Battlefield 3 for me? That is a good question. I don't believe it will, just because I think Battlefield 3 is very involving, you know, with the suppression and the screaming and, you know, the cursing and things like that, which I didn't notice a whole lot of in this. So I don't think that it's going to replace Battlefield 3 for me, but it definitely will be something to do on days in which Battlefield 3 bores me. So that's all I really got for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and shut up. I will let the gameplay go ahead and carry on. You guys have a good day, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the Medal of Honor battlefield. This is Puppy out. Peace!
Bring us some smoke. Fuck! We're being sniped. Hey, help a brother out. I need medical! Damn it! Watch it!